Welcome back to another edition of Inside Caleb's Brain. This is a quiz that I prepared of not-so-random trivia, 95% of which I did not know, but 95% of which I'm pretty sure is somewhere inside Caleb's brain. Today's topic is called, drumroll please, Meet Me in St. Louis.
I was wondering what it was going to be about. I was like, what do I possibly know about that he's going to quiz me on?
This will be a quiz of 10 sections, some with multiple parts, all about St. Louis, Missouri, mostly circa 1990 to 2010.
Oh, boy.
With some general St. Louis history mixed in here and there.
Okay.
Now, Caleb, this is not meant to trick you, but it will be fun to see if any of the rest of us know any of the things inside Caleb's brain. All right, you ready?
I feel like I'm walking into hostile territory here. Now we live in Kansas City, and for some reason, the Kansas Cityans have some kind of bone to pick with St. Louis. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'm ready.
Don't see. I've always lived on the Kansas side, and so I don't know what that rivalry, tension, whatever is exactly. But my search history and Google and all the algorithms out there are convinced that I am moving to St. Louis. I have been getting real estate like advertisements for St. Louis. I've been getting all sorts of local St. Louis stuff now. Whenever I get on Amazon or whatever, I get all the St. Louis
That's
stuff.
Great.
All right, let's start out section 1. The topic is food. If I handed you a piece of St. Louis style pizza, what shape would it be cut in?
More than likely, it would be a square, which is a surprisingly good way to cut a thin crust pizza.
I don't understand that. It's funny to me that you got St. Louis kind of at one end of Illinois and Chicago on the other end, and as you move north, the cracker becomes a casserole.
Right. Would you like some pizza with your bread?
Yeah.
With your dough?
So anyway, yes, that is correct. The shape it should be cut in for St. Louis style pizza is a square. Follow-up question. The St. Louis Bread Company was founded in 1987 and became a publicly traded company in 1993. Mm-hmm. Outside of the greater St. Louis area, what is this chain called?
Well, I will tell you this heresy. It is called Panera Bread Co. And I'm not a super big Panera guy, so I don't get too heated about this, but I'll talk to someone like my wife, and she's like, it's Panera. And I'm like, okay, calm down for a second. It's St. Louis Bread Co. We can come to a nice, consensus on this. Let's just call it Bread Co. Everybody can call it Bread Co. Just call it Bread Co.
As I understand it, the original owners, they only owned it for 6 years.
Oh.
And it was sold and became to a holding company, and they took it public and renamed it outside of St. Louis is what and I don't know if that's exactly correct, but that's like the Wikipedia version of events.
But yeah, if you go to St. Louis, it all looks the exact same, right? But on the outside it says St. Louis Bread Co. on it. They don't say Panera. Okay.
And then final question in this section, what are T-Ravs?
I don't know if I've ever heard that abbreviation before. Is that what the millennials are calling it?
Apparently.
This would be something called toasted ravioli, which for those of you who've never heard of this before, you can probably find it like at Walmart in the frozen aisle, but imagine a piece of ravioli. You're probably thinking of like a limp noodle with some meat inside of it. But now imagine that there are some crumbs on the outside of that, and that it's going to be a little bit harder and crispier, and you stick these frozen things in the oven, and bam, you got this dippable treat, kind of like a mozzarella stick.
Right.
But usually there's meat inside of them, and you just put it in what's the red sauce called? Marinara sauce, yeah. And eat them.
I can't imagine why anybody's unhealthy in St. Louis, just looking at St. Louis food. But all right, let's move on. Section number 2 is a little bit of sports history here. The St. Louis Cardinals have had a long history and a few different names. Which of the following is not a former name for the team now known as the St. Louis Cardinals?
Okay.
The Perfectos, the Browns, the Fredbirds, the Brown Stockings. Which of those is not an historical name for the St. Louis Cardinals?
Well, I might have a bone to pick on this one because I feel like the Browns is not one of the former names of the Cardinals because the Browns were an American League different team from the Cardinals. I know
Okay.
for a fact they did used to be called the Brown Stockings.
Okay.
Fredbird is the name of their mascot, so that sounds kind of. You said the Fredbirds? That does sound kind of ridiculous. The Perfectos have been all sorts of different teams.
I have fact checked this.
All right. Well,
Three
I'm gonna
of these four are former names, all in the 1800s.
Okay. Well, I'm
the
going to say the
Cardinals.
Browns, but I don't know.
Okay, that is incorrect. The team known as the St. Louis Cardinals have been called the Perfectos, the Browns, and the Brown Stockings.
Fredbirds.
So the Fredbirds. Fredbirds is their mascot apparently, and maybe also a minor league team.
So, okay, hold up. So Fredbird is the name of the mascot
Okay.
because another name for a cardinal is a red bird.
Right.
And so Fred. But yeah, the Redbirds are the Memphis AAA team, not the Fredbirds.
Okay,
the
but
Redbirds.
Fredbird with an F
Is the mascot. Yes.
Okay, all right.
That did sound kind of ridiculous to me, but I was like, the Browns, that's a different team. But I guess the Cardinals might have gone by it at one point.
Follow-up question. There have been a lot of sports teams that have come and gone from St. Louis, including the Rams, who were there from 1995 to 2015.
Much sadness.
Where did each of the following teams go?
Okay.
The St. Louis Rams now play football in,
Los Angeles.
correct? The St. Louis Cardinals now play football in,
Phoenix, but Arizona.
Are they in Scottsdale? No, I meant to look that up.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Not
they
sure.
started in Phoenix.
Okay.
And now the stadium is somewhere else, some other suburb or something, I think. The St. Louis Hawks now play basketball in,
Atlanta.
right?
They won a title in St. Louis, actually.
And the St. Louis Browns now play baseball in where?
I'm pretty sure this is the Orioles.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
so Baltimore.
Yes. They now they moved to Baltimore in 1953 after playing 50 years in
Quite a while.
in St. Louis. Yeah.
I don't know if you have a question about this, but there happened to be one World Series where the Cardinals and Browns played each other.
Oh, really?
In the World Series.
Oh,
yeah.
see, I didn't know
there,
that.
There have only been a few World Series matchups where teams from the same town basically have played each other. You got the A's and the Giants in the Earthquake series.
Okay,
Of
yeah.
course. But St. Louis, Browns
Has
and
there ever been
Cardinals.
like a Yankees Mets?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There might have been, I
I'm
bet
not
there was like a
baseball guy.
Yankees Giants back in the day. Probably.
As this episode of Inside Caleb's Brain will prove, I am not a baseball guy. And so let's go to our next section. Who was the founder of the city of St. Louis, and what was his primary line of work?
I'm forgetting the first names a little bit, but the Shoto family were like the founders, and they were fur traders, and
That's
one of
correct.
them had the name Laclede in there. There were two brothers.
That was like a father-in-law, I think.
Yeah, there were two brothers, and you're going to say them, and I'm going to know them. I took a history class on this. One starts with an A, I want to say.
Yep, August
Yeah.
Shoto.
Shoto.
Yeah, Shoto. Yeah. Well, that actually leads us to our follow-up. I was stymied by the pronunciation guides I found online for how to speak St. Louis English. With Shoto, Gravois Avenue, Highway Farty, Crondoulet, Bell Fountain, Creve Coeur.
Yeah.
Boy, wow. I think I know how to say that in French. Doesn't matter. This is St. Louis,
Is the
not
other one
France.
Pierre Shoto? Is that his name?
Oh, it might have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so those are the founders.
Yeah. And so you hear a lot of these strange pronunciations, and St. Louis, like a lot of places in the United States, kind of have their own little insider lingo. But if I heard a TV commercial
Okay.
for Mobap, what would that be?
That is a university in the St. Louis area, Missouri Baptist University. That's what I would think of if you said Mobap.
Yeah, Mobap, also a hospital.
sure.
Missouri Baptist Medical Center.
Sure.
Yeah, Mobap. Yeah. Oh, there's just all kinds. You talk about a rabbit hole. Dive into, well, why do people from St. Louis say it this way? Oh, my goodness. It goes on and on and on. It's really interesting.
The breakdown of the French language over a few hundred years.
Yeah, all the Anglos moved in and immediately started butchering all these street names and everything else. It was really interesting. Yeah. All right. Section number 4. In 1996, the original telephone area code for St. Louis was split, and many suburbs had to change their numbers to a new area code, which now serves most of east and southeast Missouri, while the core kept the old one. But then it was split again 3 years later, giving a third area code to most of the St. Louis suburbs. What are those 3 telephone area codes?
I don't know if I know all 3 of them, but I know 314
Yes.
is one of the popular ones, and I'm pretty sure one of the more recent developments is my area code on my phone still to this day, which is 636.
That's right.
I don't know if I know
between
the other one.
1996 and 1999, what would your area code have been?
96 and 99?
And it's now the area code for most of eastern Missouri and southeast Missouri, all the way down to Cape Girardeau.
I'm not. See, I know one of the big western Missouri ones is 660, which is also Kirksville, but
That's
that can't.
north. That's north in the state. So south.
Okay.
Take Columbia to Cape Girardeau.
I'm not sure I know. 319?
No.
I don't know.
573.
573.
And so your area code growing up would have started 314. In 96 would have changed to 573. And then in 1999 changed to 636.
Well, apparently that one skipped everybody I know because everybody's phone always shows up 314-636.
Yeah, see, the same thing happened in Kansas, where Kansas City, Kansas, kept the 913 prefix, which used to be a whole northern half of the state.
Okay.
But where we lived in Jefferson County, we were close enough that we also kept 913. And so our neighbors, not very far away, switched to different area codes that matched Topeka, and they were split up even further then. But yeah, so I never had to change my area code. But the suburbs of St. Louis changed, to 3 different ones in the span of 3 years.
And KCMO is 816, right?
Yeah. Missouri side is 816. Now we just hit, who the person's name, and it works, right? All right, section number 5. In the 2006 World Series, the Cardinals beat what team and in how many games?
2006 World Series.
2006 World Series.
It was great for me because it was the first, or one of the first St. Louis championships I got to witness after the Rams Super Bowl. But I was in middle school at the time, and it was the Detroit Tigers, and it was a fairly lackluster series, as I recall. I believe it was in 5 games, and I know that Adam Wainwright closed out the 5th game, and my mom let me stay up to watch him strike out whoever the last batter was, and Yadier Molina caught it, and we won the World Series.
That's fantastic. That's correct. Detroit Tigers in 5 games. That's correct. Now, the Cardinals were noteworthy that year for being the World Series champions with the most ever what?
Losses, I'm pretty sure.
That's correct.
We only had, 83 wins, maybe? It was
their record would have
bad
been
team. It would have been 83 and 79.
78.
78.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
83, and is that right? Did I do that?
The math doesn't check out, but there's 162 games in a season. But anyway, they had a lot of losses, though.
I may have that written down correct.
That's all right.
Yeah.
But
that is correct.
Like the worst World Series champion ever.
Yeah, it just squeaked in, and I believe like maybe the year before they were really, really good.
Yes, they had been.
Yeah. So.
Well, and the year before that, in 2004, they made it to the World Series and got swept by the Red Sox.
Yeah. See, again, not a baseball guy, and so that's. It was interesting diving into that team because they won, but they just barely got in, and so very dramatic, as they moved from one series to the next. So we're halfway through. How you feeling so far?
Pretty good, minus the area code nonsense.
Well, let's see if we can find some other similar area code nonsense. But let's name St. Louis local TV stations before they went digital in 2009.
Yikes.
I'll give you the call letters and analog station numbers. You tell me the network affiliations.
Okay, I might be okay at this then.
Okay.
We'll see.
Because I thought about making you name the call letters. I thought, man, I would struggle.
Ks.
I would struggle with that in Kansas City. So here we go. Let's start out with KTVI blank 2. What network are
Oh,
they? It's coverage you can count on.
That helped me that you gave me the channel number because that's Fox 2. Then.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Fox 2. That's correct. KTVI is a Fox station. Next one, KMOV, Channel 4, watching out for you.
Well, if it's Channel 4, KMOV, actually, I know the AM number too. It's 1120, but this would be CBS.
That's correct. That's right. All right. This is actually going better, and I thought you might really struggle with this. I wasn't sure how much you watched TV as a kid.
You're helping me out by making me go this direction.
All right. KSDK 5 on your side.
That is NBC.
That's correct. KDNL 30.
30. I'm pretty sure this is ABC.
That is correct. Why are they KDNL?
KDNL. Like, does the DNL stand for something?
The whole thing.
They incorporated the K, did they? Man, I'm not sure.
At one point, they aired the Cardinals games. I don't know if they still do. I don't know how long they did that, but that was part of it.
What does that stand for
Cardinal.
then? Oh,
KDNL.
I see. It's an abbreviation sort of thing.
People get clever with these call signs for radio stations,
Well,
TV stations.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I learned this from my dad growing up. All the call signs west of the Mississippi start with a K, and east start with a W. So I just happened to live in a place where it was possible to get both of those on the radio.
Yes, the exception being that there are some older stations that were grandfathered in.
Okay.
Because I had the same thing. Most of the Kansas City stations start with a K, but the Topeka station that is the CBS station Topeka is WIBW.
Oh, okay.
Simply because they were old and they were grandfathered in. Yeah. And last one, KE. Oh, wait, I should probably do this in like a real quiet, serious, intellectual voice. KETC 9.
If it's Channel 9, it's got to be PBS.
That's right. It's PBS, brought to you by Sess and Judy's Catering and viewers like you. That's right.
Well, I'm glad all the channel station numbers haven't changed since I was a kid. That made it a lot easier.
But they're irrelevant now.
True.
Because it's all digital.
It's all digital.
And cable kind of ruined that too because like here in Kansas City, we had so many like Channel 4, Channel 5 would get bumped to totally different channel numbers.
Right.
And so it didn't really mean anything if Channel 5 was now on Channel 230.
Right.
So, yeah, those are, that's especially for, your generation, you certainly were in before 2009.
Yeah.
But good grief, all of my childhood and some of my adult life, it was spent with broadcast television networks. And that's all kind of blurred now. Now my kids don't watch, broadcast television.
Sesame Street.
They watch their favorite YouTube channel.
Yeah. All about streaming now.
Yeah. All right. So, section number 7. The St. Louis Blues have played home games in the same arena since 1994. Which one of the following are not names for this arena?
There's been so many.
Here we go.
Okay.
One of these is wrong.
Okay.
The Enterprise Center, the Kiel Center, the Checker Dome, the Savas Center, the Scottrade Center.
Okay. I happen to know all these iterations, thankfully. I can even tell you the order. I'm pretty sure it was Kiel first. There's actually a parking garage still called that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then it was Savas. Then it was Scottrade. And then recently became Enterprise because I think Scottrade was bought out by Enterprise. Maybe. So anyway, so it was the Checker Dome then.
Okay. Do you know where I got the Checker Dome?
It sounds so familiar, but I can't quite pin it.
It was the previous
Was it?
arena.
Okay.
Yes, and it also had several names, but at one point Purina had bought.
Yep, that makes sense.
And so it was the Checker Dome, maybe in the 80s.
Which
maybe.
Purina
I'm
is
not sure about that.
Based in St. Louis, right? Or has a big office in St. Louis, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting Purina advertisements on my internet now. I'm not sure. I should look. Maybe that would make sense.
One of the best man at my wedding, actually, his dad is like a big corporate exec at Purina.
Oh, okay. All right. A follow-up question. In 1990-91 season, what Blues player became only the 5th player to score 50 goals in 50 or fewer games?
Oh, wow. I I don't know all the years super well, but I'm guessing based off of just how prolific this player was that it's Brett Hull.
That's correct. That's correct. He actually did it twice for the St. Louis Blues.
In less than 50 games?
Yes, he did 90, 91, and then the very next year, 91, 92, one time in 50 and one time in 49.
That's insane.
And so, very short list. I'm not a big hockey guy either. And you get into that list, you got Gretzky, a couple other people, and Brett Hull. So, all right, Section 8. In November 2003, a mall with over 200 stores, an ice arena, a skate park, and a NASCAR-branded go-kart track opened in Hazelwood, Missouri. What was that mall called?
What year did you say?
November 2003.
Yeah, I remember this place. What is it called? It has a dumb name, and it's practically empty now because the Blues, their practice facility used to be there. Man, it's just not coming to me. You're gonna say it. It's just a dumb one word. I think I can't quite. That's not there.
St. Louis Mills.
The Mills. That's right. We just called it the Mills.
Just called it the Mill.
The Mill. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
I actually tried. I almost called your dad. I think if I'd had his number handy, I would have. So I'm trying to figure out what mall would Kaleb have gone to as a kid.
So that one is not it.
And so, no. But in my study of malls,
I see.
Wow, St. Louis Mills put several other malls out of business.
Yeah.
And then itself has had it became an outlet mall and has recently closed.
It has closed. Okay.
That's what I read.
I remember when it came out, it was like a big deal and it was super cool. But I grew up going to a mall called Mid Rivers Mall. Which is
I think I've been there.
It's really close to. It's off of Highway 70. It's really close to where my parents and my sister live. And I've only been to the Mills, man, like 5 times. I mean, it was just a little out of the way. And yeah, I remember going there one time when I was in upper high school, and it was like all the stores were deserted and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the Blues have a new practice facility now, but it's completely closed.
I guess that's what I read.
That's the name of the game with malls these days, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, repurposing them or just outright bulldozing them. Yeah. The High Point Theater is St. Louis's oldest movie theater, opening in 1922. But another movie theater was opened from 1988 to 2003 with 10 screens, an old-fashioned ice cream parlor where we bought the tickets, and an historic 28-foot mural featuring a train and 2 steamboats called Commerce on the Landing. Where was this theater located?
Man, I'm not sure I know this one. The name of the theater was called Commerce on the Landing?
No.
Or the name of the mural?
The mural that was saved and put in this mural was already a 50-year-old mural. And it was saved and put in this movie theater.
I don't think I even have the first clue on this one. I think you've completely stumped me.
It was the movie theater located at Union Station.
Oh,
this is the Union Station 10 Cine, or Cine. I'm not sure how they've said that.
And when did it close?
Closed in 2003. It was not open very long.
That's why I didn't know,
like
because
15 years.
I've been to Union Station. My best friend growing up, his name's Dominic. We would go to St. Louis Blues games, and we would drive down there actually and park at Union Station. But that wasn't until like 2008. So I wouldn't have really known.
And see, and I struggled too with, like I said, almost needing to call your parents to figure out, okay, now what was open when?
Yeah.
And I found lots of great historical websites for St. Louis talking about malls and movie theaters and all sorts of things. But boy, it comes and goes so quick. And so almost every decade has a completely different set of entertainment venues than previous decades. So it's a little challenging on that. But we'll move on to Section 9. And Section 9 is this. The celebration of lights in Fort Zumwalt Park has existed since 1991. What is it?
Celebration of lights? Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've ever been to this before.
Oh, no.
But, I mean, maybe I have. My school district growing up was called Fort Zumwalt School District.
Zumwalt?
Zumwalt, yep.
Okay.
I would have just said it was a like a Christmas time thing.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
That's correct. It is a drive-through Christmas light display.
Oh, okay. You're giving me like a stumper there, but it was trying to throw me off the scent.
All right. Related to that, this is same as follow-up question. What famous animals can I see at Grant's farm?
I've only been there like once or twice. I would have said like petting zoo stuff, like a goat or something.
There is a petting zoo there, but what
Okay.
famous animals are also housed at Grant's farm?
Oh, that's right. The Clydesdales,
Yes.
the horses for Anheuser-Busch.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Very good. And at the St. Louis Zoo since 2008, what is the featured animal in the Caribbean Cove?
Was it just one animal? I don't know.
There's lots of things in there.
Mostly
but
the
what's
manta rays are
Yes,
the big
stingrays.
or stingrays are
Yep.
the big deal. There's some
Yep.
sharks and stuff there too.
Yep, that's right. That's right. All right, now we're down to the last section of our quiz. How do you feel going through all that?
I think I'm doing my city mostly proud.
Yeah, oh, well, you're right on top of it. Absolutely. And like I said, it's so difficult. Cities change so
Yeah.
much. And if you lived on one side of town versus the other side of town, what you were exposed to culturally, it might be significantly different from someone who was otherwise your peer, let alone, go back a generation to your parents' age or whatever. I mean,
For sure.
that really changes. So it was a little bit of a moving target trying to find stuff here. But this is the last section. And what I'll do is I'll name the St. Louis Cardinals player. You give me their position, or their
okay.
role. Okay.
All right. Hopefully this is circa 2006 or later.
Well, it's between 1990 and 2010.
Oh, I should be all right.
Okay.
then. Okay.
So we'll start with Mark McGuire.
That would be our illustrious first baseman of yesteryear.
Okay. Other roles?
For Mark McGuire, I would have said like an outfielder or something like that.
He's also a coach.
Oh, you mean for the Cardinals?
Yeah,
yeah,
for the
yeah.
Cardinals,
He,
for the
he was
Cardinals.
he was a hitting coach for a little bit, and then went to the Dodgers, and he might still be for the Dodgers. I can't
know.
remember.
Not sure.
Yes, he was a hitting coach for a little while, just
Okay.
a couple seasons.
Okay. All right. Scott Rowland.
Believe he was a third baseman.
That's correct. Do you know how many gold gloves
Roland has.
Rowland has?
I don't. I know how many Yachty has. I think, but I'm gonna guess 5.
He had 8.
8?
8 gold
okay.
gloves for Scott Rowland. And then, is it Yadier Molina?
Yadier Molina.
Okay.
Well, he's a
What
catcher.
position? He's
Come
a catcher.
on now.
All right.
Come on.
Probably Hall of Fame level,
if
right?
he doesn't
I mean,
make it
he's-
in, it's criminal.
Okay, okay. And like I said, I don't know very many of these, and as we go, I probably know them less. The next couple, I'm still good.
He is
for.
the singularly most beloved current active roster Cardinal right now.
Well, how long has he been on the team?
I mean, at least 15 years.
Yeah, years.
More than that.
Long career, all with or mostly with the Cardinals.
I
right?
think him and Adam Wainwright are the only 2 remaining members from our 06 and 011 championships, actually.
Okay, okay. Albert Pujols.
He was a first baseman primarily.
Okay, and what year did he win MVP?
I don't know. I'm going to guess. Well, that's probably not right.
You know what range this quiz is in?
Yeah. I don't know. 2004. That might be too early.
2009.
Oh, 9. Okay.
Yep.
It was that late in his career, or with St. Louis at least.
All right.
Because he left
He's
after the
still playing,
11
isn't he?
season. Yeah, he's on the Angels, and I just read that he's
Well,
only
are
like.
any of them playing?
Well,
I read,
fair. I just read that he's only a few RBIs away from 3rd on the all-time list and a few home runs away from 5th on the all-time list.
Wow. Okay.
Crazy.
All right. Tony La Russa.
I mean, he was our manager
Right.
for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
Who preceded Tony La Russa as manager of the Cardinals?
Was it Whitey Herzog? Was he the one before? Or no? Wait. What about the guy who's like the VP of baseball operations now? Joe Torre.
Yes,
Is that who it was?
that's right, Joe
Okay.
Torre.
He was in between the 2?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then number 6 here on our list. We got 10 of these.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Number 6 is Adam Wainwright.
He is a pitcher, starting pitcher now. Used to be when he first came on, he was a reliever, but he's a starter.
Okay. All right. Number 7 here, we got Chris Carpenter.
Chris Carpenter.
Did I say Chris Carpenter?
Yeah,
I'm
just
sorry.
want to make sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I have. Chris Carpenter.
Well, there's
Yes.
another player that I really like called Matt Carpenter.
Okay.
But Chris Carpenter was a pitcher, probably my favorite Cardinals pitcher from when
Okay.
I was growing up.
What year did he win the Cy Young? Chris Carpenter won the Cy Young in.
I don't know. 05.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That is correct. 2005. All right. What about Jeff Suppen? What position?
You might have. How's his last name spelled?
Suppan?
Okay. I think it was Supan.
Supan?
but I barely remember him.
He was the 2006 NLCS MVP.
Man, I don't know. What was he?
He was a pitcher,
Oh,
starting pitcher.
Huh.
That's what I have down.
go figure.
He was the MVP of the NLCS in 2006. And then, like I said, I went deep dive through their whole postseason.
Yeah.
That year. Then again, forgive me on the pronunciation. I believe he's Puerto Rican, but Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, this was kind of before I was really invested. His son, I believe, plays for the Padres now.
Okay.
Fernando Tatis Jr., but I can't remember what position. I would have said outfielder.
All right.
But-
he was third base.
Third base.
In
Okay.
1999, he did something twice in one inning.
In one inning?
He's on a very short list of people who did something twice in one inning.
I'm going to guess either a triple or an inside the park home run. I don't know. What is
They're
it?
close. He had 2 grand slams.
Grand
in
slams.
one inning
Okay.
in 1999.
We must have been pummeling somebody.
And then last to finish up our quiz, David Eckstein or Eckstein, I'm not sure.
He was a shortstop, I believe, and I'm pretty sure he was the 2006 World Series MVP.
He was the World Series MVP. Very good, Caleb. That was excellent. Like I said, most of that, especially the baseball and hockey, oh wow, that is not anything that I follow at all. And I had a lot of fun researching about these teams and the city that you grew up in. I hope you enjoyed the quiz.
I did. St. Louis is and forever will be my first love as far as homes go.
That's awesome. I feel the same way about Kansas City, and they're just two neat places to live.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
All right. Thank you very much.